Hello friends, for science today we're going to be starting our science fair experiment. Usually we do this at school, but this year we're going to do it at my house and you're going to get it to see what happens over the next 5 weeks. For this, you're going to need your science journal ready to go, and we're going to be doing the beginning part of the science fair project. And then every Wednesday for the next 5 weeks, we're going to be checking on our project to see what happens. This is a really cool project where we're going to be planting something and watching it grow over a long period of time. This year, we're going to be planting different types of beans, and we're going to be growing a beanstalk, just like in the story Jack and the Beanstalk. And we're going to find out what type of bean will grow the tallest beanstalk. So if you have your journal next to number 1 where it says problem, we're going to be writing what type of bean will grow the tallest beanstalk. Go ahead and record that in your journal now. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the experiment before we do our hypothesis. For this experiment, what I have in front of me, this is called a greenhouse. It's an indoor greenhouse, and it's a great way to start seeds inside your house. Right now, the weather is a little bit too cold outside to start growing things. So every year before I do my vegetable garden, I start my seeds in a greenhouse. And then when the calendar says May and it's warm enough to bring my plants outside, then I'll put them in my vegetable garden. So I have my greenhouse with me. And then I also have 6 different types of bean seeds that we're going to be planting to see which one will grow the tallest beanstalk. So my 6 choices, I have one called Royal Purple. I have one called Asparagus Beans. These are lima beans. These are garden beans. And these are golden wax beans. And these are Kentucky Wonder Beans. So those are the 6 types of beans that we're going to be growing. For your hypothesis, we're going to start right now with a sentence frame. And then after we set up the experiment, you're going to go back and fill in your sentence frame with the type of bean that you think is going to be the tallest. Your sentence frame is going to say, I think blank will be the tallest. So go ahead and record that in your science journal now. All right, now that we've had our science journal recorded, now we're going to get the experiment set up. The first thing I need to do with the greenhouse is right now these little pods of soil are very dry. So the first thing that I need to do is get everything wet, and hopefully the soil will become moist and a good place for seeds to grow. And now we're just going to let them sit for a few minutes until they are ready for our seeds to be planted. All right, now that our greenhouse is ready to go, we're ready to plant our different seeds. On your science journal next to number 3 for observations, for this experiment, we're going to be writing numbers 1 to 6, and next to each number, we're going to be writing the name of the bean that's going to go there. So we're going to start with number 1, and I'm going to have you copy down the name while I plant these. Number 1 is going to be our lima beans. Let's open the package and see. Lima beans are very big. They're big and round beans. And as you copy lima beans down next to number 1, I'm just going to place 1 lima bean in each of these seed pods in the greenhouse. So for each of these beans, we're going to be planting 6 different plants, which is important for this experiment because sometimes things don't always grow and go exactly how we expect it. So that's why we have 6 different chances for each type of seed to grow. So number 1 was our lima beans. Number 2 is going to be our Kentucky Wonder beans. For this, we can just write the word Kentucky. None of the other ones have that word. And as you copy down Kentucky Wonder, I'll show you what these look like. These are much smaller than the lima beans. They're brown. And we're going to plant 6 Kentucky Wonders, just like we did, same number for lima beans. And I can tell that some of the seeds in the package aren't as good as the others, so I want to pick out the best ones so each of these different types has the best chance of growing the tallest. You dropped your toy, didn't you, buddy? Yeah. All right, number 3 is going to be our asparagus beans. Let's see what the asparagus beans. Oh, these are kind of like the lima beans. They're almost longer and have a funnier shape. I'm going to go ahead and plant those while you copy down asparagus beans. Your toy. There you go, buddy. All right, number 4 of these are really interesting. These are our royal purple beans. Let's see what the seeds look like for these. It's kind of interesting. Bean seeds look like beans. These ones look a lot like our Kentucky Wonders. They're a little bit more light in color. Yeah, you throwing your toys, buddy? Yeah. We're planting some beans. All right. I wonder if the stalk of the purple ones are going to be purpley like the bean in the picture. That could be kind of cool. All right, number 5 is going to be our big kahuna. Something tells me that this bean is going to be bigger. Let's see. Oh, it's not. It's the smallest one so far. That's kind of surprising since the name is big. It looks just like the lima bean, but it's much, much smaller and kind of longer and skinnier. Alright, that was our big kahuna. And last but not least are our golden wax beans. Let's see what these seeds look like. That would be number 6 underneath observations for you guys. And they're kind of like limas, but they all kind of have this speckly look. If you've ever eaten black-eyed peas, that's what they kind of look like to me. Alright, let's see. I dropped a few of them. That's okay. Make sure I get 6 inside the greenhouse. That would be kind of funny if the ones that I dropped made really big beanfuls. Yeah, you think so too, buddy? We're growing beans. How cool is that? All right. So these are nice and ready in their greenhouse. We have 6 of each of the 6 types of beans. And we're going to be watching these grow over the next 5 weeks to see which one is going to grow the tallest. Last year for Science Fair, KB grew bean stalks as one of the plants that we tried. We wanted to find out what type of vegetable would grow the fastest. and we learned that it was actually beanstalks, and we grew a plant that was 40 centimeters tall. It was about this high off the greenhouse, which was really, really cool. So we'll have to see what type of bean grows the fastest beanstalk. The last thing that we're going to do today is you're going to be filling in your hypothesis. So on your paper, you're going to be copying down in that blank spot that we left. You're going to be writing which type of these beans that you think is going to grow the tallest. Remember, your hypothesis is just a guess. So nobody really knows the answer. I don't even know the answer because I've never done this before. So make your best guess. Which one do you think is going to grow the tallest? And we'll be watching this over the next 5 weeks.